Guys, I got a match here against Splitr. It's for the Kanto Tourney 6v6 semifinals. First he sends out Starmie, I send out my Aerodactyl, and I'm fearing either Surf or Ice Beam. I don't want to take either one, so I go ahead and switch out to Vaporeon. He uses Ice Beam, which does absolutely no damage to me, but he gets me frozen solid, so that's not cool. So I know I have to switch out, and I'm figuring that he's going to Thunderbolt, so I'm going to switch out to Jolteon. I get the Volt Absorb, which is nice, and then I'm not sure what to do here. I'm thinking he's going to switch possibly to a Jolteon. I don't want a T-Bolt. I don't know if he's going to switch to a Snorlax, so I figured the only safe move for me to use would be Signal Beam, and luckily enough he switches out to Snorlax, and I actually get it confused and get it to Wasted Slum Berry, which is really nice. And now I'm fearing the EQ, so I go ahead and switch back out to my Aerodactyl, and he uses Earthquake, which is useless, and I hit it for Rock Slide, which does a pretty good amount of damage. I'm pretty happy with that. And he Seed Bombs me, which doesn't do that much really at all. He switches out to Starmie, and I hit it with a Rock Slide, and it does a little more than half. So I'm pretty happy about that, and of course it avoids my next Rock Slide, hits me with the Thunderbolt. That'll easily take me out, and I'm like, dang it, that sucks. I could have had his Starmie taken out, but I go right back to Jolteon, and I figure he's going to switch back out to Snorlax. Hopefully he doesn't have a Jolteon, so I go ahead and use Thunderbolt this time for Stab, and hoping that this will take him out, and it does. I get a crit there, so that now I'm sure that helped me out anyway. He goes to Machamp, and I switch out for the Dynamic Punch, and then I switched back to Vaporeon just to absorb whatever other attack it might have that would hit my Gengar and cripple it. So he withdraws back to Starmie, and Vaporeon's still frozen here. Hoping it'll become thawed out at some point soon. I go out to Jolteon for the Thunderbolt and get healed up nicely. He withdraws to an Alakazam, and I hit that Alakazam with Hidden Power Grass, which was intended for the Starmie. It does a little more than half. I go ahead and use Hidden Power again, and that takes him the rest of the way out. So I'm glad I got that out of the way. He could have been a pain later on. He goes back to Machamp. I use Thunderbolt just to be able to get a good chunk of damage on him, knowing that I'm going to be confused if I do happen to live this Dynamic Punch. And let's see... No, of course I don't live. I wasn't really expecting to, but I did a good amount of damage on Machamp, which is nice, and then go to the Alakazam. He bullet punches me, which was a good move on his part, and luckily it didn't do all that much. I Signal Beam just in case he decides to switch out to the Starmie for the Psychic. Now Starmie comes back in, and I use Signal Beam again, and I'll take the Starmie down easily enough. And he's sends in Charizard here. I go out to my Machamp to take the Flamethrower, and doesn't do half. Then of course I have lefties. He Air Slashes me for super effective hit. I guess maybe I should have saw something like that coming. I didn't. No, whatever. He goes down. So I send out my Gengar that I know will outspeed it. Just trying to get some damage on it, and that does not quite 3/4. And a Flamethrower. I'm Life Door, but I know I'll survive this attack, and he gains some lefties, and I go for another Shadow Ball to KO it, and he's taken down, and Life Orb just about takes me out. Sends in his Dragonite, and I'm going to be faster, so I just go ahead and Shadow Ball again, and takes him down to about 1/3 HP. Life Orb picks me out. I go back to the Alakazam and Psychic for Stab to take him out, and down goes Dragonite, and that was the end of the battle. It was a great match. Thanks for watching, and I will have the finals match video up as soon as I can.